Hello traders, welcome to another Bitcoin and cryptocurrency technical analysis video. So Bitcoin, it is finally waking up. I do think that we are on the verge of seeing a breakout. I know the video title and everything for this video is probably leaning on the bullish side. I don't really have a strong bias that we're going to break up, but I am mainly positioned for that scenario, and if things turn the other way, then of course protected against that. But I have started to scale into some fairly low risk trades with the idea that this accumulation phase or this distribution phase is about completed, and we're probably going to see the breakout of this range fairly soon. So yeah, Bitcoin breakout imminent. So we are going to go over the price action on this today, and we're also going to cover a few altcoins. And yeah, let's just get into it. So there's been a weird thing in the market recently. So for the past couple of days, it's been really boring, and I've taken one or two trades a day. I've not really been that inspired to trade like all the time, so I've been focusing on other things. I've been working on content. I've been just kind of like positioning myself and thinking, where is this gonna go next? But last night I suddenly became really interested, and I did a lot of charting, and I posted to the crew, which is something that I usually do these in the morning. But I just had a feeling, okay, for the last 3 nights, okay, so just going onto the Discord here, for the last 3 nights, we've had these moves that have happened whilst I've been asleep. So I thought, okay, right, I'm awake, I'm working on stuff, I have a feeling that something is going to happen. And I generally have a very good intuition with like when the market moves are coming, and you can tell with volatility and all that kind of stuff. So I did post this last night, basically saying, crew, still awake, I've been prepping some more content, here's today's update sheet, as Asia seems to have been having all the fun lately. Price just bouncing now off of previous day VWAP close and previous day New York POC. Local golden pocket is a previous day value area low and range POC. So I was looking on the thing here for the range remains the same. 38,300 is important support, but looking for the single prints and MPOCs above to be tested. I've taken some alt long trades. But these rely on BTC getting that move higher. Even a small sign of strength in a range above 40k could be enough to see some alts running for a few days. Trading cautiously, scalps and low risk, medium time frame swings only. So this is where we were last night, okay, and we could see we just had this move into the VWAP close and the previous New York point of control, which isn't on this chart, but you can see again here that this is the support we were looking at for this, basically the POC of this range and the golden pocket region, and also this value area low. So, but with also the idea that price would move up into the single prints above. And what did price do? Okay, here we are waking up this morning, price comes straight in, fills these gaps, fills the single prints, the fair value gap on the chart, straight back down. And where did it find that support? Right on that point of control there. And I can let's just close Discord up a second and let's just have a look in this here. So let's zoom in and you can see, whoa, that's a little bit too much. Let's add on the text onto here. What did price do? Okay, straight down into, well, straight up into those single prints that have now been filled, and into the initial balance from that day, whatever day that was, then straight down. And where did it bounce? Like, look how nice that is, straight off of that value area low, straight into that golden pocket region, and then up we go again. And actually locally, where is price right now? So I had taken a long off of this, and again I did update on the Twitter as well. If we do come over here, oh look, there's our website. Do go check out tauruscrypto.com. But also on the Twitter, I did update here. This was the long position that actually got filled overnight from expecting this move down into that region. Okay, so that had been taken, and yeah, let's just go back over here and just show you. So there was the support, and we've had this bounce here, and at the moment just seeing the same thing. Okay, so basically into this upper golden pocket region that we can see on the chart now. So that long has flipped into a scalp short. I'm hoping that we'll see if this can come down and just find some support around this 40k area, and then I'm really looking for it to fill out a range above 40k for the rest of basically the rest of the day. Okay, so the idea behind this is basically looking at this higher time frame range that we have going on. So of course, here is the current resistance that is on the chart right now, and our support was basically coming in from, we were pulling a point of control from where is it, over here. There we go, and there's your point of control support, which is where we got the bounce. Okay, so the higher time frames, I'm kind of jumping back and forth from stuff a little bit this morning. The higher time frame, basically the picture of that at the moment and what I was looking to happen is, you know how we've been having that straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. I was hoping that we would see something basically come in to start to fill out this void and start to put in a range within this void, and at that point is when you can start to think, okay, maybe we can look for a breakout from this larger time frame consolidation to happen fairly soon. So as soon as we do get like this move into here and we start to fill out that space, I think that increases the probability that we're going to see a move basically breaking up towards the highs of this range or back down towards the lows here. Okay, so that really kind of the larger time frame that we've got on Bitcoin. Of course, we're still stuck within like the middle of this, like exactly in the middle, but we are starting to move now, and I do think that there is some potential for larger movements later on today. I do know that there's again more FOMC stuff happening today, so that will be interesting to see if that does bring some volatility into the market. So it's quite an important day here on Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so yeah, basically that's exactly it. Like there was the long, flip that into a short here from this golden pocket, looking for a consolidation around towards the end of the day, and we'll see if we can get a move again. I think this sideways stuff is kind of done. I want to see volatility start to increase a little bit now. So yeah, basically on Bitcoin, that's everything I'm really looking at. Okay, this was another nice little bit of confluence that we did have down here. So again, you could see this is Binance, so I don't pay too much attention to it, but a lot of bids down there within that area. Interestingly enough, everyone, like, as soon as you got that move up, it disappeared, and then you come back into this area and it starts to hold. And we're starting to get some sells just above this region here as well. So we'll see what happens. It's Binance. There's not really a lot of other exchanges particularly active at the moment. If you zoom over and have a look at FTX, not much going on. Okay, they got little sells up here, but not really a lot going on. And then of course Bybit and Bitfinex, it's similar kind of situation. Okay, so that that's on the order book. What else do we want to go over? Okay, so we've got a few altcoins that I'm interested in. Okay, so let's start off here with DOT, and this was basically the hopeful scenario of trading DOT back up to the yearly level. Okay, so we did have that spring, having that rally back into support to have that test of support, breaking through this downtrend, and now looking to kind of move up towards $20 and higher if we're lucky enough to see one of those mini alt seasons start to form, if Bitcoin can find a bit of strength and get some momentum to the upside. Of course, if it does break down from this range eventually, none of this is going to work out as long positions, but I think it's a relatively decent chance now where we are coming into clear accumulation. Now this has failed previously, and I'm just going to go over a couple of charts how this has previously failed, but we're in the zone where there is clear accumulation going on, and if we get invalidated, we get invalidated, and you move to lower prices, which actually is more opportunity. So that's not too bad. So this is a trade on DOT that I'm looking at. And then we have a couple of other trades here that I have taken. First of all, Gala. Again, hopeful. Okay, this is certainly not a sure thing. And again, fundamentally, I don't really know much about Gala. But, okay, you can see this huge point of control from the entire range. And it is just sideways, completely sideways. It's kind of broken through a lot of this resistance again once again here. So if we do look at the downtrend, and if we do look at the anchored VWAP and stuff, we can see that the pressure to the downside is starting to wane. It's starting to decrease, and what we are also seeing is just this volume starting to die off, but actually since we've had that initial kind of test out of it, we've got a little bit of a pickup in volume. So again, could be indicating that this accumulation period is starting to come to an end, at least kind of a move up of, I don't know, how much is this? From that point of entry, you could expect like 20% move even to come up to kind of local resistance on this. So and again, very easy invalidation. You just take a swing low. It's sideways, so it's very easy to find your invalidation on that. So that's Gala. That's the other trade that I have been looking at. So Dot, Gala. Then we have a couple of these little schematics that I've been doing. Now this is a little bit messy. I did draw this last night. So basically just using the Wyckoff schematics here and just looking at how some of these altcoins are starting to appear as if they are ending this accumulation phase. So what you can see on VeChain, which is a really nice example. So a lot of the altcoins that are still in this downtrend and just starting to go sideways now, VeChain's actually been sideways for a while, and this has been a good month of range-bound behavior rather than downtrending behavior. So quite a nice example to be using on this as the general kind of gist of what's going on with the altcoins and why we could potentially, if Bitcoin is favorable to the upside, if the price action is favorable for the bulls, then I do think the alts could start to outperform. So what we've seen previously, okay, clear selling climax, and this was with big volume down at the lows. So a clear selling climax there on VeChain. You then have that secondary test, just takes out the lows. A rally from that. You start to hold support. Then you get a sign of strength initially. Now the issue with this is that, okay, if this is a kind of strong uptrend, and I think then you generally tend to have these periods of accumulation being fairly low, and what you would expect to see is price holding around here and then continuing higher. Now obviously that didn't happen. You had that change of market structure from low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, 5 waves up. And what happens, you come back down here, you take out this low, basically the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and coming down into here, and then what happens, you get caught at this resistance, filling in that little gap that you have on the chart, getting caught at resistance, and then it brings it back all the way back down because you're back inside this range now, back to the lows. You have another test. You can't really get a rally off of that. You're not finding enough absorption. So then what price needs to do, it needs to spring, and then it needs to test once more. So you have, again, you have the downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. You come down here and you create one of these Quasimodo, trident, inverse head and shoulders, whatever you like to call it, patterns at the lows. It didn't change market structure there, but it did at this point. So then you're looking at this as a larger change of market structure, similar to what we had back here with the change of market structure and coming back into your resistance. We have the same thing to the upside, coming back down, final little test, potentially, or we're going to go down much further. So the final test, and then we're looking at this jump across the creek and continuation back up towards the highs of the range. And if Bitcoin can start to get some decent price action to the upside, it's definitely not a sure thing, but if Bitcoin can start to show a bit of strength as well, then I would expect to see something like VeChain start to form a range within this region, hold, and then you can start to look for price action to move out from that point. So just a very brief explanation on a rough little schematic that I've been drawing here. So you can see failed once, failed twice to find support, or to break through after finding support. And then at this third attempt, you are getting that decreasing volume down here. You're starting to just find, finally, here is your support. You found some value around this area. You've had your spring. You've had enough tests. Can it start to see a move out of it? So VeChain, a really nice example. And then again, we do have this on lower time frames as well. So if we do go down to Sushi, this is another one that I was looking at last night. Let's just turn off the volume here. And again, if we do go on to the Discord, then these were shared within the crew last night. So again, looking at the Gala trade here, looking at VeChain, looking at Sushi. So Sushi was just butted up against this anchored VWAP, which kind of the creek, so that jump across the creek is what you're looking for, above that VWAP and the point of control of the range, before potentially seeing higher prices. So we have had that again today. So this was about here. I was looking for hold above this range. So here is your sign of strength. Here is your kind of test of support. So your final kind of test of support, and then you break through back up to the highs here, taking out these highs once again, coming down to test support and back up to the highs here. So starting to pick up some speed, starting to pick up some volume, starting to pick up a little bit of momentum on some of these altcoins with some of these very rough schematics. Now, again, it has to hold at the top here. So at some point, if we are going to see a uptrend start to form from these alts and start to actually see a reversal, we're going to have to see price hold here. So this is the final little phase. You have to see price hold here, and then you can start to think about these higher prices. So we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. But again, Bitcoin dumps, all of this is finished, and you're looking at this as being a bigger distribution with these kind of looking more like up thrusts than actual support down at the lows. Okay, so you don't really know until it breaks, until you either break here and out, or you fail, you break down like this. You don't really know which way this is going to go. Is it accumulation? Is it distribution? The market will tell us once we actually come up to either side of this range and hold there for a period of time. So a lot of alts starting to look like this. I don't really want to cover anything else in particular. I know Sands had a nice move recently, and that was a similar looking thing. There's stuff like XRP and XLM are doing something similar as well. So there's enough going on right now that this could be something a little bit more significant starting to form across a lot of the altcoins and just the market in general. So we are reaching that period of time when I do think volatility is going to start to come back in. The last thing I just want to update on is Luna. So we were looking at this move up towards basically here and here. Now those targets are still the same, but we were doing the trading room yesterday morning. So we did the London trading room yesterday morning, and we could see the divergences forming up here in the kind of middle of the channel type thing again. And I was saying that it's probably likely that we are going to see a move back down into this, back down towards the lows of the channel, and then see if that can get that final little push once the rest of the market is ready, if we are going to be looking at upside here. So that has moved down. I've not compounded on my long yet, so of course I have taken profit on this already. I've not compounded yet. I would like to see it come down towards the yearly and ideally take out these lows here. So if we can come down once more into the lows here, test that yearly level, and then we can start to look for more of a move upside, or more of a move up towards these targets. So there's a few altcoins. It's been a while since I've done alts as well on here, so that basically wraps up my analysis for today. Any final thoughts on Bitcoin that I have? Do I just want to go back? Let me just have one more look at Bitcoin, and then we will finish. Now, you know what? No, I'm kind of good. I've said everything we say. We've got the local golden pocket here. Of course, we've got a bit of a gap between these levels after that move up. So fair value gap, single prints, stuff like that to fill. I do think a range within this region, and looking towards that New York session open a little bit later on this afternoon, there is potential news catalysts for that. So I think at that stage, whichever one of these you take out first, I would say a little bit more likely to get continuation. I do think we'll probably see another random candle like this, and then we can see a bit more continuation. So we keep getting these Darth Mauls, these Barts, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, and it's just been continuous. In this case, straight down, straight up, and of course going back to last week, straight up, straight down, and that kind of thing. So continuation of that, but only a couple more of those to go, and I think until we do see that bigger move coming from the market. Yeah. Oh, Dot as well. Did I update on Dot? I can't remember, but yeah, I did update on Dot. Anyway, cool. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.